Good morning, friends. So, yesterday we have seen the topics till the nutrient cycle, that is gaseous nutrient cycle. So today we are going to deal with the sedimental nutrient cycle, guys. So in this chapter, that is the function of ecology, we are dealing with the energy flow and the nutrient cycle and the ecological succession, guys. So in the energy flow we have seen the trophic levels, its interaction, that is the interaction of the trophic levels, the biotic interaction, the pollutants, all those things we have covered in the energy flow. And in the second topic, that is the nutrient cycle, we have classified into two types, that is the gaseous and the sediment nutrient cycle. So in the gaseous we have seen the water cycle, the nutrient cycle and the carbon cycle. So now we are going to take the second part of the nutrient cycle, that is the sedimentary cycle. So we are going to take the parts of the sulfur cycle and the phosphorus cycle, and the third topic is ecological succession. So in this topic, in this session, we will complete the chapter number 2, guys. Okay, so our today's discussion topics are: first one, phosphorus cycle, and the sulfur cycle, and ecological succession. Okay, so these three topics we are going to deal now. Okay, functions of ecosystem. Functions of ecosystem. So phosphorus cycle. Okay, guys, we have seen the water cycle, the nutrient cycle, and the carbon cycle. So now the phosphorus cycle. So the phosphorus cycle is a sediment cycle, guys. So sediment means, so its interaction will be limited to the only, that is the soil, that is the lithosphere, the biosphere, and the hydrosphere, guys, and the living organisms. So in this process there will be no interface of the atmosphere. Whereas in the gaseous cycles we have seen its interface in the atmosphere also, like the atmosphere, like for example in the water, in the atmosphere clouds will condense, and in the rainfall the water will reach the ground, and same as in the nitrogen. So in the atmosphere we have 78% of the nitrogen, and the carbon dioxide we have 0.93%. So whereas if you go through this phosphorus cycle, this will be dealt with the only simple logic, guys. So plants, so plants take the phosphorus from the soil, and this will be eaten by the consumers. Again this will be decompose and the soil. Okay, so this is a simple interaction, guys. So that is, we have only the lithosphere and the biosphere, means the biosphere, that is the biological part, the biosphere, the lithosphere, biosphere, and the hydrosphere. Okay, so it is a simple process of taking the phosphorus cycle, guys. So I will explain how this will be taking place. So guys, for this entire cycle took place, there should be some mechanism that will be happen in the system, guys. So those are the erosion, sedimentation, mining, and volcanic activity. Okay, guys, the phosphorus that we can't obtain directly in the soil, guys. So it present in the crust as a phosphate rock. So the phosphate rock is which is present in the soil will be in that process the erosion will take place. So the phosphorus enters in the cycle through the process of the erosion and the mining, guys. So in the process of the erosion and the mining, the rock which is present in the at the ground level will come to the soil, guys. So in such a way, then the plants will take that nutrient and it will take the process of its system, guys. So in such a way, we are going to deal the entire process, means how the process will take place. As I explained previous, the soil means whatever the things that are used by something should be replenished, okay, or recycled, guys. That is our target. So in how way we are going to do that process, we are going to deal in this, guys, okay. So see, guys, the number of the rooted plants increase in the water, and the microorganisms are because of the due to the phosphorus, guys. Because phosphorus plays a very important in the nutrients, guys. Why? Because the farmers also use the product name that is NPK. NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium as their nutrient, guys. Okay, so the phosphorus plays a very important in the growth of the plant. So because of the erosion and the runoff, all the phosphorus that is present in the soil will be taken to the ocean, guys, by the process of the rivers or the lakes. So in such a process, the number of species, that is the number of organisms in the aquatic plant will be going to increase. So this is one of the main reasons. So guys, I think I have explained you how the process will be taking place. So phosphorus will be present as a phosphate rock in the crust. So during the erosion and the mining, it will come to the soil in the process, and the phosphorus will be taken by the organisms. So first of all, what happens, so the entire process will take like this, guys. So first of all, the earth crust. So crust is having the phosphate rock, guys. Okay. So earth is having the phosphate rocks. So in the phosphate rock, it will take the process of the weathering. Okay. So weathering. So weathering means the removal of the top layer, guys. So the removal of the top layer. So the weathering may be many types, like the erosion, all those things. Erosion, runoff. Okay, during this process, the rock present in the crust will be break down, guys, and those will be in small quantity will appear in the soil, and so like that then the phosphorus is eligible to take as the nutrient by the plants. So during the weathering process, the erosion happens, and it will be taken by the producers. That is, producers will take, guys. So producers will take the oxygen. So what happens, so whatever the things that is present over here, guys, that is the phosphorus. So this phosphorus is again through the process of the erosion and runoff will be moving to the oceans, guys. Oceans. So we will move to the oceans by rivers or lakes. Okay. Through the rivers or lakes, it is again taken to the oceans, guys. So in the oceans, they will form the deposits. They deposits at continental shelf. Continental shelf. So continental shelf means, guys, see here, that is continental shelf, guys. Continental shelf. Okay. So it is passed through the continental shelf, then it will be deposits, guys. So from there, again through the process of the volcanic activity, it will rise. Volcanic activity, plate rises. So through the process of the volcanic activity, the plate rises, guys, and again it will come to the land. Okay, and it will come to the land. So from land, again the process begins. That is the weathering. Okay, so this is how the phosphorus cycle takes place, guys. So from the rock, that is the phosphate present in the rock, that is in the crust, earth crust, guys. So from there the weathering process will take place. So the weathering means small, the erosion and the runoff. Okay, the erosion and the soil runoff. So in such a way, the phosphorus will come out, guys. So the phosphorus again through the erosion and the runoff will be deposited by the rivers or lakes in the oceans. So as in the continental shelf. Okay, so again from the continental shelf through the volcanic activity or the plate rise, again it comes to the land, guys. So and again land. So from land to the, and again the weathering process takes place. So again from the weathering to the same, that is taken by the producers, all those things. So same thing will be happen, guys. So it is a cycle. So this is the phosphorus cycle, how it will going to take place in the system, guys. So it's a simple cycle, guys. So compared to the carbon cycle, the hydrogen cycle, hydrological cycle, carbon cycle and the nutrient cycle, it is a simple process which to take place. So because of this, so guys, oceans by rivers or lakes. So because of this process, the rivers, so the rivers is having good number of increase in the concentration of the plants or the rooted plants or the organic, guys. Okay, so because of the process of the runoff. Okay, and this complete the process, guys. Okay, so this take place only through the biosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and we have living organisms. So only these are the things that is going to take place in the system. So there is no atmosphere, guys. So in atmosphere, phosphorus that doesn't exist, guys. Okay, if it exists also very little in quantity, guys. Okay, so this is how phosphorus cycle takes place in the ecosystem. So this plays a very important role, guys, because it's very important for the nutrient, guys. It acts as a building block. Okay, so now we will go to the second topic, that is sulfur cycle. Sulfur cycle. Sulfur cycle. Okay, guys, this also same like the phosphorus cycle, as it is the sedimental cycle. So their things also in the same, but this sulfur exists in this atmosphere, guys. So few part of the sulfur exists in the atmosphere. So we will see. So what it is going to see. Okay, so in this process, it is the sulfur has the reservoir in the soil and its sediment, guys. So the sulfur has the reservoir in the soil and in the form of sediments, guys. So it is locked as the organic sulfur, guys. It is locked as organic sulfur. That is, we have coal and oil and the inorganic sulfur and as the inorganic form in the sulfates. Okay, guys, it is formed in the organic as the coal and oil, and as the inorganic in the sulfate, guys, in the soil as the sediment, guys. So in the form of sulfide and organic sulfur. Okay, so in the form of sulfide and organic sulfur, these are blocked or these are locked in the soils of the sediments, guys. As the organic, it is coal and oil, and as inorganic, it is in the form of sulfate. It is blocked in the as the form of sulfides, organic sulfates, etc. Okay, so these are released, guys. So these are the one which are present in the soil and the blocked. So these are removed. These are the released from the soil by the process of the weathering, erosional runoff, erosional runoff and decomposition. Okay guys, these are released from the sediments of the soil by the process of the weathering, erosional runoff and the decomposition. So in such a process, the sulfur will comes to the top layer, that is to the soil or to the ground guys. So generally these are present in the sedimentary guys. So sedimentary. So these are present in the sedimentary mostly. Okay, but we have two things guys, that is H2S and SO2, that is hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. These two are present as a gaseous form guys. Okay, these two are present as a gaseous form. So their existence are present in the atmosphere also. H2S and SOS, these are the only two forms which are present in the gaseous form, and the remaining is the mostly in the sedimentary form. Okay, in the sedimentary form. So in H2O and SO2 are present in the gaseous form. So what are the things that make them to present as the gaseous form? That is combustion of fuel guys. Combustion of fuels. So we are using the fuels in the motor vehicles. So those combustion will make the sulfur to be present in the atmosphere, and the sulfur occurs and the volcanic activity. So and the volcanic activity also make this atmosphere sulfur to present in the atmosphere guys. Okay, combustion of the fuels and the volcanic activity. So how it interact in the atmosphere? See guys, its interaction takes place like this. So H2S, so during it is oxidized. Okay, it oxidizes and form SO2. Okay, sulfur dioxide, and same form it. So during precipitation, that is H2S, it form H2SO4. Okay guys, when H2 is oxidized, it forms sulfur dioxide, and when H2 is in the form of precipitation, so when the rain occurred, so during the H2SO4, so weak sulfuric acid, okay, it will come to the land gas. So this is the process of how sulfur cycle happens in the system. So again its recycling happens. So again it come to the soil gas. So from soil to again its cycling happens. Okay. So plants take the sulfur gas. Okay. So plants take the sulfur gas. So when the plants decompose, so when the plants move to the food chain. So plants move to the food chain and they will die, and they again sulfur recycle. Okay, so this is a process of how sulfur will be taken by the organisms and its process. So it is present as the organic, that is coal and oil, in the crust, and in the inorganic as the sulfate in the form of sulfide organic sulfur gas. So during weathering, soil erosion runoff and the decomposition, it will come to the soil. So generally we have the mostly sedimentary, that is the mostly H2S and SO2, and the combustion of these fuels and the volcanic activity are the main source of the H2S and SO2 in the atmosphere guys. And so the H2O is oxidized and it forms the SO2 in the atmosphere, and the H2O in the form of precipitation, it forms the weak sulfuric acid gas. So after this, it will be taken by the plants and it enters the food chain, it will die, and the sulfur is replenished or recycled again. So this is how the sulfur activity takes place guys. So we have many sedimentary guys. In those we do the two important topics, that is the sulfur and phosphorus cycle. So we have done with the nutrient cycle. In the nutrient cycle we have done the gaseous, that is water, carbon and the nitrogen, and in the sedimentary we have done the phosphorus cycle and the sulfur cycle. So now let us move to the last topic of this chapter, that is ecological succession. So it's very important guys, so please concentrate on the things. Okay, ecological succession. Ecological succession. What do you mean by ecological succession? So ecological succession is simple, guys. So succession means from small to the big level, guys. Succession means after completing the each stage, we move from the apex stage, that is known as succession. So it's simply defined as the universal process of the change in a vegetation, on time scale. Okay, guys, simple, the succession is the nothing but the universal process of change in a vegetation, okay, on a time scale, is known as the ecological succession, guys. So for example, if you take the example like small herbs, small plants, okay, and this will be developed as a shrub. Shrub means softwood tree, and this will be developed as a hardwood tree. Okay, sir, guys, before that we have algae, small plant. Okay, so guys, small plant, or we have a herb, okay, we have shrubs and a hardwood tree, guys. So it means from one stage to another it will take place. So universal process means it is the process is saved from everywhere of change in a vegetation. So in the vegetation, guys, on a time scale. So if you are like for example we say like 1 year, like 5 years, 10 year and 15 year. Okay, so in such a way, a small plant to the shrub, a herb to the shrub, and a hardwood tree, guys. So this is process is known as succession. The universal process of change in a vegetation on a time scale is known as succession. So succession happens, that is, this happens, guys, when the community is disturbed and it is replaced by the new communities. So the succession to be happen, this will be replaced by the new communities, guys, because of this destruction. So its destruction may be natural or man-made. So whenever there is the destruction at the one place due to the natural or the man-made, the new succession will be start, guys. So the new community will be takes place, guys. So in between, it will between. So the disturb may be the intermediate community or the climate community, guys. So the intermediate community or the climate community may disturb, guys. So after it disturb, the new community will take place or the new ecological succession will occur. Okay, the destruction is because of the flood, rainfall, rain. That is, as I told, the human made or the natural. So the natural is like earthquake, tsunami, all those things, and the man made are the fires, the deforestation, all those things, guys. So these are the things how the ecological succession will take place, and it is replaced by one more community after the years passes on. Okay, and the process of this will be in the farm case. So this is known as pioneer species, guys. This is known as pioneer community. Pioneer community. Okay, pioneer community is one which is the first in the ecological section, whereas this is called as the climax community. Climax community. Okay, this is known as the climax community. This is the pioneer community, and this process is known as succession or series. Guys, clear? It is pioneer community, it is primary community. This process is known as the succession or the series, guys. Okay. Now we will see what are the characteristics of the ecological succession. So the characteristics of the ecological succession are, we have like the productivity, guys. So productivity increases. What do you mean by productivity? The production per unit is known as productivity. The production per unit is known as the productivity, guys. Okay. So the productivity will increase, and the diverse ecosystem, diverse of biodiversity, so increase in food web. So these are the characteristics of the ecological succession, guys. That is the increase in productivity, diverse of the biodiversity, and the increase in the food web. So now we will move to the what are the types of ecological succession, guys. So I will explain here types of ecological successions. So we have 4 types of ecological succession, guys. That is, first one, primary, secondary, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Fourth one is autogenic and illogenic. Okay, guys, we will see what is primary community. So primary ecological succession is the one which takes place at the new land, guys. So till that time the land is free, so no species are present over here and no vegetation has done at that place. That is known as primary ecological primary, guys. So primary means the small microorganisms or the bacteria or the fungi started their life on the bare land, that is plain land, is known as the primary section, guys. So those plants will make the habitat to live at that place here, and that habitat makes the new conditions for the new organisms to come to that place, guys. Okay, so guys, see, so at the bare plant, that is new land, no species are present, that is no previous community that exists over there. So at the new place, the small microorganisms or the bacteria or the fungi make the habitat of that place, and those makes the new living conditions for the other organisms to come over there, guys. So that is known as the primary section. So what will happen if the primary species, that is the microbes, bacteria and the fungal will disappear. If those will be disappeared, its producing community occur, guys. So the community after this will appear over there, guys. So it is a process, guys. It is a process of the series. Okay. So what will happen if those microorganisms which are formed in primary section will die? So if those organisms die, then it will form the nutrients to the soil, guys. So it forms the nutrients to the soil. So what does it mean? Means the number of nutrients in the soil increases, guys. So those leads to the seed dispersion, guys. So what happens if the seed dispersion will happen? So there will be competition for the food to eat in that place. So there comes the role of the niche. So in such a way, everyone is linked to each other, guys. So in such a way, the primary succession takes place. So guys, I repeat the primary succession. It is the succession which happened upon the plain land, guys. That is, no living exist in the previous times. Okay, so the small microorganisms or the bacteria or the fungus will start their life, guys. Okay, there they make their habitat to live over there and make the new conditions for the other organisms to live over there, guys. So what happens if these microorganisms will disappear after a few years? So if this disappears, the next community will come in exist. Okay, So what happens if these microorganisms will die? So if these microorganisms die, so they will release the nutrients, guys. So means that is in the process of the decomposition, the nutrients will be released and those will be taken by the soil, and the seed dispersion will take place and the new habitats will be exist, guys. So and there will be competition over that place, and the niche will plays an important role in that system. It is known as the primary succession, guys, and secondary succession. So secondary succession is the one which will appear after an previous community had appeared over there, and because of few disturbances that community has lost its life, guys. So it has eroded or it has taken away. So because of the malaria, that is known as secondary community. So what are the characteristics of the secondary community, guys? So secondary community is the partial, means the partial or complete eroded. So when the when the previous community is partially or completely eroded, then it will form the secondary community. So this will be due to the man-made or natural. Man-made or natural. Okay. So this will be, yeah. So whether this community lost its surveillance in at the intermediate or climax. Okay, at the intermediate or at the climax, guys. So it may be partial or complete eroded. So it may be man-made or due to the natural process, or it may be because of the intermediate or the climax during the intermediate process or the climax process, guys. So in such a way, this secondary community will take place, but the secondary community will be fast, guys. This will be fast. Okay. So whereas primary community is slow. So why? Because in primary community you need to come up from the grassroots level, guys. So its process is very slow. So whereas in the secondary community it's fast. Why? Because someone has established something, guys. So we need to begin our journey from that place. It's because, so that's the reason the secondary community is fast, guys. It may be from intermediate or the climax stage. So because of the man-made and the natural process, it will be done. So it is partial or complete eroded. Okay. So during anything may happen, guys. So it is a secondary community. So what is the difference between primary community and secondary community? So primary community takes place at the bare land, that is plain land. So whereas the secondary community takes place at the place where someone has done its community. So previous it has a community and now it is going to take place as a second community, guys. And the second point is primary community takes very slow process, guys. It takes very less time to have its habitat. So whereas the secondary community will take place very earlier stage, that is faster, guys. So in this way we have the primary and secondary. So what are the autotrophic and heterotrophic ecosystem? So whenever the number of species, the number of organisms in this system is more of the producers, that is green plants, this is called autotrophic succession. Whereas the number of species, that is the consumers, are more, or then it is known as the heterotrophic succession, guys. Okay. So and anthropogenic and allogenic, guys. So what is, remember, autogenic? Sorry, autogenic means so the ecological succession which takes place the community of that habitat itself is known as the autogenic. So whereas allogenic means the succession which takes place because of the force of the foreign community, means foreign means the outside community, is known as allogenic ecological succession, guys. So we are done with primary, secondary, autotrophic and heterotrophic, allogenic and autogenic, guys. So autogenic means self. Okay, self means the community developed by the organisms of the community itself is known as autogenic. So whereas the allogenic, it is prepared, it is done by from external forces, guys. Okay. So with this we have completed this chapter, guys. That is, in this session we have done the phosphorus cycle, the sulfur cycle and the ecological succession, guys. So guys, after this chapter, I will come up with the summary or the MCQs of this chapter 2, guys. Okay. So thank you, and we chapter third, and we start with chapter number 3, that is terrestrial ecosystem, guys. Okay. Thank you.